In cities, towns, all across America, it costs money to make sure citizens have clean water, that their trash gets picked up and hauled away, that when they walk down the street at night, there's light illuminating their path. Of course, these services, as well as a myriad of others, cost money. But what if you're a city manager faced with the dilemma of trying to keep the lights on while being handed a significant budget cut? Well, all it takes is some out-of-the-box thinking and the NECA IBEW team to do the work. ElectricTV's Jennifer Bryce shed some light on that story.
There are 68 million streetlights in America, and 6,600 of them are located in Ann Arbor, Michigan, powered by taxpayer dollars.
Everything we're talking about here is taxpayer dollars, and the $1.4 million we spend on streetlights every year is a big chunk of change.
That chunk accounts for about a third of Ann Arbor's city operations budget. And when that budget got chopped by a very large percentage, a majority of the city faced the possibility of going dark, literally.
About 4 years ago, I was forced with a 6% budget cut of my energy bill, and it's something I have no control over. I have to pay the energy bill, and it's $1.4 million. It's a huge section of our total energy bill for the city of Ann Arbor. So I was forced to think outside of the box. I approached several lighting suppliers, and they said, well, there's nothing we can do. There's not really much on the market.
And there was not much on the commercial market, that is. Light-emitting diodes might seem like a potential solution, but LEDs have a silent killer: heat.
LEDs, actually, the biggest enemy is heat. And the reason why the heat is such an issue with LEDs is that if for some reason you do not extract the heat away from the LED, the heat will then go back into the die area and actually raise the temperature inside there, which then does two things. It actually diminishes the luminous output of the LED and also shortens its lifespan.
LEDs are much, much smaller than your traditional metal halide bulbs in use today, and because of their size, you have to add more of them to get enough output to light up a sidewalk or a street corner. But the problem is, a lot of LEDs in a confined space means a lot of heat. When it can't dissipate, the lights short out, or at least they used to, until Rayloom Technologies came along with a solution.
The way that works, we actually take the heatsink itself and turn it into a circuit board. By doing that, we take a shape we can mount it out of. We actually then apply a thin layer of a Kynar solution that we created, because you have to insulate against shorting out the product. Then we silkscreen on the circuitry, as you can see, onto the board here, and then we mount the LEDs using a 95.5% pure silver ink to do the circuitry and a thermally conductive epoxy to mount the LEDs. What that does is allows the maximum heat to be dissipated away from the back of the LED.
Now that they knew LED technology could work, the issue became how to make them work on a larger scale.
Retrofit kits in the downtown ones work the best for there, where we could ship them some globes. They would put the LEDs in it. We would get them back, pretty much take all of the ballast and everything, and for the high pressure sodium or mercury vapor or whatever it might be, take that out and put the LEDs in.
One of the new globe lights has 4 LED panels on the inside. On each panel there are 12 additional LED lights, adding up to 48 lights in all. Now with a new operational LED light, they could compare savings between it and the old metal halide bulb. So they changed 1,000 of the city's 6,600 lights and measured the results.
We're looking at cutting, hopefully, our overall bill in half when all is said and done. On the energy side, we're going from about 120 watts per fixture to 56, so about a 50% savings.
What's more, the new lights will last 10 years, where the old light bulbs lasted just 2 years.
These are metal halide bulbs. It's a 2-year life. Every 2 years, we're changing that bulb. And that's a huge expense to us.
With such aggressive energy savings, Ann Arbor is significantly reducing its carbon footprint.
For every 3 fixtures we put up, it takes a car off the road for a year, carbon reduction. That's huge for a green city.
With the R&D behind them, the challenge for Ann Arbor now is to change the remaining 5,600 street lamps to LED. That's a lot of work they need experienced contractors and craftsmen to perform, and they're turning to the NECA IBEW team to do it.
The work that this requires, the actual changing of the wiring system, this is not something that unlicensed staff should be attempting. We have 5,600 lights that are owned by Detroit Edison, and We are working as a partner with Detroit Edison to pilot their programs so that their Cobra heads are going to be part of the program too, and our intention is, truthfully, to change the entire city over. What we're looking at is for them to start installing the LEDs on their poles, which will be through a journeyman electrician, to put 5,000 units out on those poles. There's a huge market here for it and a lot of work.
At NECA, we have the need, we have the kind of the responsibility to make sure that we stay out ahead of the curve when there are new energy-saving applications that are on the market. We have to keep an eye on the market as it develops and the new products as they develop, so that when something really becomes commercially available, our contractors will know how to install it, know that it's available, understand what applications are available for it.
We heard about this project, so we took the initiative as a local to get all the information, make sure that we had people skilled, trained, and ready to go, so that when this project took place, they would be up and running.
For ElectricTV.net, I'm Jennifer Bryce.
Thank you, Jennifer. Ann Arbor was the first city in America to successfully implement new LED streetlights and realize the savings. Converting the 1,000 lights in this pilot program has less than a 4-year return on investment. The Ann Arbor experience represents a huge opportunity to green-minded communities from coast to coast. The technology is here. In America, you've got a trained professional workforce in the NECA IBEW team who can save you money and help you go green now. That's it for this edition of Electric TV. Thanks for the click, and we'll see you next time.